Hey everyone, this is Carbonite bringing you another standard match. This time on the left we do have Will playing an Ava deck, and on the right we have Alexis playing, once again, Nirvana Jheva, the crossover dress deck. So it looks like we are actually going to be starting with Alexis, just going to be writing up discarding a Trickstar. Pretty good discard target because you can always just revive your Trickstars with that Jheva skill. Passing over to Will, we are just going to be writing into that grade 1 Eva and searching out the grade 1 research order, of course. So getting into the matchup a little bit, normally this would be kind of, if this were the previous set 7, this would be a really awkward matchup for crossover dress, since Ava was really still playing that grade 2 order, the one that allows you to bind. And in case you don't know, crossover dress units, if they get moved to any location, they do actually all go to the same location. So if he were to play that grade 2 order, he would actually bind not only the crossover dress unit, but actually every single original dress unit. Anyways, getting back into the match, we are going to be seeing him call out that monster, which does work with Ava. It is basically a 13k attacker, and on place it's a Soul Blast 2 to draw a card, which we're obviously not going to be seeing here because we don't have the soul for it. We're just going to be calling it rushing a little bit, which is kind of interesting, I suppose. But we are going to be seeing a... gosh, should I try and remember what all the crossover dress units are called? But anyways, it's going to get hit into the damage, and we are going to see OT for second damage. So we are starting this damage with this turn with just 1 damage. Looks like we are going to be calling that Bramal, or whatever it's called, the Counterblast 1, draw 2, 1. Swinging at the Vanguard, which is actually going to get blocked. Swinging the Rayu, boosted by the Trickstar, which we called off the Ride Line skill. Getting a critical trigger there and actually giving all the effects to the Vanguard. So pushing it to Ava to 2. Looks like we are discarding an Obstigate to ride into that grade 2 and searching out another order. Kind of interesting to put the Obstigate back into the drop zone. It's not the worst play, especially since you have things like Second Doll, and you do have that grade 1 order that we just saw a second copy of it searched out, which can just like recycle your Obstigates either back to your hand or back to the deck. So really discarding is not a huge problem, especially if you have a bunch of other things in your hand that you really don't want to be discarding and you want to be actually using. So it looks like we are just going to be activating that second copy of that grade 1 order, just setting up so that we get to those 3 orders by the time we get to our grade 3 turn. And it looks like we are actually going to be calling out that Second Doll, putting that Obstigate that we discarded for Ride deck back to the bottom deck. And now, of course, we don't have the soul once again to use the Second Doll's second effect, which is the Soul Blast 3 to draw 1. Just gonna be swinging with it, actually hitting an over trigger here, which really isn't gonna be too impactful. Gonna be basically just dealing 2 damage and then swinging with the other monster for 100 million. It is 2 crit, so you do have to PG this, which we are going to be seeing coming on down. Otherwise, you are going to be pushed to 5 going into your first grade 3 turn. So discarding a draw, riding into that Nirvana Jheva, teching that top 7, hopefully getting a Pure Dragon, but it looks like we are actually going to whiff it. Now, this actually isn't too uncommon for the crossover dress deck. They run around like not as many Prayer Dragons as you would think, especially probably just because you can like revive them. And also the space in crossover dress is just really tight because you have to run Trickstars, you have to run the Prayer Dragons, you also have to run your PGs, your triggers, and with all that stuff, there isn't really that much space for the Prayer Dragons. And of course, you also have to play the crossover dress units themselves. So space can get really tight, so it's not really that uncommon to whiff with the grade 2 skill. And looks like we are actually swinging the Nirvana at the rear guard, which is definitely an interesting play. Clearly you're trying to go for a little bit of a damage denial there, but at the same time, Ava is already at 2, and in order to use both of Ava's skill, all you really need is that 2 counterblast, especially considering the fact that we already do have 2 of the grade 1 orders set up. So even if you were to damage deny them to 1, they could theoretically use both skills. Although I'm not sure a good Ava player would just go for it. They probably just wait on one of the skills, deciding either to like bulk up or to like go for more pressure with the Obfuscate 8. But we are actually going to be seeing that grade 2 order come on down, binding that Ramal, which I guess is a good thing we didn't actually push on our last grade 3 turn. Otherwise, the entire stack would have gotten bound. So looks like we are going to be using the Ava skill, searching the top 3 for that 1 counterblast. Looks like we have some pretty good choices. Looks like it's PG, grade 1 order, or a Persona ride. So honestly, any one of those is probably going to be a really good choice. And looks like we are going to be going with the grade 1 order card, because we do already have a PG in hand, looks like. Calling out that Obfuscate 8, we do have the 3 set orders, so we are going to be getting that extra 10k. Looks like we are just going to be swinging with that Ava for a nice 26, using the skill to Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1, and calling out the second Obfuscate Tone deck. Probably the one we just put back with the second doll skill. And of course, this Obfuscate 8 was called by a card effect, so it is actually going to be getting that extra critical in addition to its normal just 10k base. So it looks like we are actually going to be committing a lot of cards to guard this. Looks like 3 cards. It looks like that was a trigger and 2 more 5k, so that was a 38. Going to be swinging the Obfuscate. We didn't get anything off the drive check. Hitting into actually taking the Obfuscate 8's attack, going to 5, and then taking the last Obfuscate. Huh. That's really interesting, because that would have just been a 5k guard, because we did actually hit a defensive off the checks from the Obfuscate 8. So not really sure what happened there. Maybe we just didn't have a 5k in hand. Maybe it was all just like grade 3s. But anyways, that's going to be the end of the match. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to do all those YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.